Red Raiders. Beeville picking it up and starting it out. On the wing, Quazala. Quazala has it knocked away, following up on the play. Beeville moving it to the Massena line. Comes to Tubolino, knocked away from him. Dumped to the Massena zone. Back in the corner it goes. After it, Leduc, he'll rip it around the other side for Chris Levine. Levine flipping on the wing, intercepted there by defenseman Yurden. He'll flip it in behind the Massena net. Puck picked up there by the Beeville Bees as they move it around the horn. Back to the point. Here's a drive from the point, is blocked. And is picked up by Tubolino, who I believe also blocked the puck. Tubi skates out. Headman to Ryan. Ramo goes by him down the ice. Somebody touched it. They wave the icing off. Brown plays it. The goaltender out to center ice. And here comes Baldwinsville. Eamon Dowd with it. He'll dump it off the glass inside Massena territory. After it is Leduc. Aaron Leduc from Massena out right wing side. On the wing he goes to Ryan Ramo. Ramo's headman pass to Levine. He'll dump it off a stick. And it goes up into the Baldwinsville bench and we'll have a face-off. 13-12. That's what's left in the first period. No score on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
Raiders almost got a break early on as Ryan McMahon, the left defenseman, jumped up to try to intercept the pass. He missed it. Spanky Foster got in behind him. Looked like he had a breakaway, but a great play by Ian Yurden to come back and knock the puck out of harm's way.
Rupert's line out there against Fiorentino. Off the faceoff, Nick Toth with it, moving it ahead. Aaron Ramo, he'll dump it off the boards deep. Stopped by, no, Brown's going to let it go by. Around the boards to the blue line. Here's a shot from the point, blocked. And after it, Rupert, he gets tied up. Poke checked out to center ice. And here comes Beeville into the Massena zone. Stocker gets knocked down, but gets a shot off anyway. And the save made by DeLille. He'll hold on for the face-off.
Jeremy Stocker, just an 8th grader on that left side. Not very big, 5'7", 150, but he played strong going down that left side. And it took all Captain Nick Toth could do to knock him off the play. Good move by young Jeremy Stocker.
Right back out with the Dow's line. Dow's, Hawthorne, and Elias against the Whitcup line. Whitcup out there with Foster and Michaud. Off the draw in the Massena zone, it comes to Brian Hatch, who rips it around the boards. Picked up there by Lazaire. Lazaire makes a stick handle move, flips it ahead Foster. Foster has it poked away, gets it, dumps it in the zone. In behind the net it goes, Lappin after it. Lappin around the boards to the blue line, not out of the zone. He takes the check. The puck bounces free. In the corner it goes. Here's Michaud. Michaud centers it right across the goal mouth. Nobody there. And the puck poke checked out to center ice by Hawthorne. Dumped right back in by the Red Raiders. Stopped by Brown behind the net. Here comes Beeville to the blue line. All the way down the ice. Going to go right in on DeLille. And he's going to steer it in behind the net. Hatch ridden in the boards. Puck comes free to Hawthorne. Bounces off his stick in behind the net, Levine. Levine flips it, has it intercepted. Poke checked away, back to the point. Here's a drive blocked by Foster. He moves it just out to center ice. Picked up by the Bees there. Here's McMahon. He'll dump it deep, and that'll be icing against Baldwinsville and move the face-off back in Beeville territory. 11:50 left, no score in the hockey game.
The Raiders know as well as you and I, Jerry, they're not going to get too many soft ones against Mike Brown, so that means they've got to shoot every time they go to the net hard, crash that net, try to create as much havoc, traffic as possible. Mike Brown, 6'1", about 185, 190 pounds. He's a big one.
Face-off inside Beeville territory. Ramo will take the draw. Wins the faceoff back to the point. Here's a shot deflected in behind the net. And that took a couple of bounces, changed directions a couple of times. Ended up not being on net. Now Levine steals the puck. Dumps it around the boards into the corner for Ryan Ramo. Steps by a check, but can't control the puck. Comes back to the point. Here's a shot fired wide. Around the boards it goes. And here comes Baldwinsville just across the blue line. Dumped right back in the zone. Right back out again. Long headman pass to the red line. Dumped into the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes to the side of the net, and DeLille will cover up as it came off the puck boards. He'll hold on for the faceoff.
Beeville, like most high school clubs, most college clubs, and even pro clubs today, unless they've got that sure odd man rush, you're just going to dump and chase, get the puck in deep, and try to work over your defense. But the Raiders coming out in the first 4 minutes looking pretty good, Jerry, pretty sharp. They've established a forecheck and are playing solid in their own end.
Face-off inside Massena territory. The Rupert line out there against Fiorentino's line. Off the draw, Raiders win it. Comes around the boards to Ramo. Ramos has it knocked away. Puck bounces free, clear to the blue line, back out to center ice. Dump right back in Massena territory. Leduc trying to flip to Ramo. He's pretty well covered. Squirts back to the Massena line. Nick Toth gathers it in, circles back, looks for a headman. He's going to carry it. Here comes Toth. Gets by one. lost it off the end of his stick. Here comes Ramo trying to follow. He steps by a check, flips it behind the net. Mankey's centering pass, but it's knocked away. And back comes Baldwinsville. It's Stocker down the left wing side. He'll dump it in the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. Here comes Hall, knocked away from him. But Massena's going to break it out as the Raiders move it ahead. Ramo, he'll dump as they want to change. As Derek Rupert did a good job. Now the puck trickles back in the Massena zone as they try to catch Massena on a change, but Hatch is back to gather it in. Takes it from behind his net, starts the other way. Here comes Hatch, picks up a couple of forecheckers, rips it around a Michaud. Michaud bangs it to the blue line, not out of the zone. Puck in the corner, back to the point. Here's a shot from the point, goes in behind the net, comes off the puck board, sharp angle shot. DeLille has the post covered though, and he'll hold on for the face-off as Hawthorne tried to sneak one by him, but DeLille was there.
We talked about Beeville's defensive prowess, and it showed that shift a second ago when the Raiders had it in the corner, dumped it in front. The right wing Steve Daniels was there, right in the right spot. He just chipped the puck immediately to Stocker up that left side, and away they went.
Face-off right side in the Massena zone. No score in the hockey game. Off the face-off. Raiders win it to Hall behind the net. He'll wrap it around on the other side. Gets away from Hatch and dumped in the corner. Whitcup. Here's Whitcup moving it along the boards. Picks up about 3-4 checkers. Manages to clear it to the blue line, but not out as it's dumped back in behind the net. Picked up there. They center it right in front. Bounces in the slot. Back to the blue line. Raiders try to poke it out to center ice. It comes just across the blue line. Delay offsides. Massena will clear anyway. To the neutral zone. Foster has it knocked away. Back comes Beeville, trying to clear it back in the zone, knocked away again by Massena. Back to McMahon. McMahon has knocked off the puck. Here comes Michaud, can't come up with it. Foster throws a check, the puck cleared along the boards. They battle for it there. Whitcup has it taken away as the puck goes to McMahon. McMahon's headman. Hatch right there to dump it back in the zone. Raiders going to make a line change on the delay offsides. Picked up there by Beeville. That's Lappin out to center ice, intercepted. Tubolino trying to barge his way through. Poke check comes to Ramo. He'll dump it, and the puck bounces in behind as Brown stops it behind his own net. Beeville ripping it around. Toth pinches in, trying to keep it in the zone. He does. Flips it to Levine, gets it back again. Here's Toth, knocked away. Tubolino in front of the net, the backhander, and the first save by Brown was an easy one as Tubi didn't get much on the backhand. Here comes the Beeville Bees. Down the left wing side is Elias. Breaks by the defense. It trickles right in. Squirts away from DeLille. But Toth is there to pick it up. Lifted ahead, but not out of the zone. Quazala, but he's going to be called for carrying or gloving the puck anyway. And the faceoff will move outside Massena territory. Down to 8:34 left in period number 1. No score.
Asked Coach Mark Lloyd why the great transformation from last year to this year. Well, he said the kids are older. They were very young last year, and they're also seeing the benefits of a year-round ice program they have down there at the rink at, I think it's Radisson Lysander. They have the ice year-round, and the kids, and they have a good strengthening program, so he said they're seeing a lot of benefits from that.
Heath out there with Quazala and Dowd now. Puck in the Massena zone. Hatch lost it off the end of his stick. Lost it again in front. Here's a shot. DeLille makes a save. And a cough up in the Massena zone results in a Beeville chance.
Well, again, two different philosophies. I don't like to take that puck back into your own end like that, allow the opposition to set up a forechecking pattern. But just over the Raiders' blue line, I just want to chip it out of that, across that blue line out in the neutral zone, and let's get things organized. But that time, the Raider defenseman took it back inside and lost it and turned it over, and Beeville had a chance.
Face off in the Massena zone. Off the draw, here's a shot blocked. Comes along the blue line, picked up and out to center ice by Ramo. Picked up there by Yurden. He'll drop it over on the other side. And down the ice it goes. Going to go right in on DeLille. He'll flip it in the corner. Comes to Levine. He's got room. Headman pass. Ramo takes it by one. He'll backhand it to the blue line. Picked up there by the Beeville defense. They'll move it right back out to center ice. They're pretty quick on the transition. Into the zone. Toth throws a stick check. Puck goes in the corner. Toth rips it around the boards. On the wing. Hatch moving it ahead. Out to center. No, it didn't quite make it to center ice. Dumped right back in. As again, a little bit of forechecking pressure here. Nick Toth lost his edge that time. Puck around the boards. Comes to Ramo. He swept it away, but here's a shot. Blocked into the corner. Picked up and around the boards. Raiders are kind of hemmed in their own zone right now, running around. Finally, it's picked up by Captain Nick Toth, and he'll carry it out to center ice and slide it down the ice into the Baldwinsville zone and give Massena a much-needed line change.
Well, again, Massena's sometimes guilty of wanting to come out clean all the time, Jerry. You just can't do it.
Sometimes you need to just chip it out.
Chip it out, that's all.
Puck dumped in the Massena zone, picked up by Leduc. He fanned on the clearing pass. Puck knocked away, goes in behind the net. Here's Beeville with an opportunity. They'll flip it back to the point. Shot from the point, deflected high over the net, bounces into the mesh. They center it. It's going to come to Massena back at the point, but they can't get it out of the zone. Here's a poke check, and now it comes out to center ice off Leduc's stick. Here comes an opportunity again for Beeville. That's Stocker. Knocked away from him, and into the Massena zone it goes. Trickles back behind the net. Leduc picks it up. Turns it around. He'll flip it over on the other side for Colin Lazare. Lazare on the wing. Devin Paquin flips it ahead. Now the Massena Red Raiders break down the wing. Here comes Whitcup trying to bust his way through. Poke checked away by the defenseman Tim Neer, and Neer will start out on the left side. Neer, headman pass on the wing. Hawthorne, his shot up into the wall. And we'll have a face-off probably just inside the Massena zone. Down to 6:18 left in the first period. Corky's Collision scoreboard says 0-0.
One of the things Beeville doing also on that strong side, they're keeping the defenseman right up on that offensive blue line, Jerry, and he's ready to dive down if needed, take that chance. So Massena, when they do chip the pucks, they got to chip it hard or, again, reverse it in a hurry.
Dow's will take the face-off against Whitcup, just top of the circle. Massena zone to the right of goaltender Dusty DeLille. Off the draw, back to the point. Here's a quick shot, blocked. And Michaud had it in his equipment. Here's another shot, hit the goal post, and it's poke checked wide into the corner. First real good chance of the hockey game. Here's another shot, knocked down in front. Goes high slot, they knock it away. Whitcup flips it ahead, out to center ice it goes, where it's picked up there. Around the boards to the Massena line, it's dumped in the zone. Racing in after it is Dow's. Dow's in behind the net, centers it, bounces off Whitcup's stick into the corner. Foster comes in to help out, can't come up with it. Goes back to the point, knocked away. Here comes Foster, headman pass to Whitcup. Whitcup to Michaud. Michaud waits and then carries it out to center ice. And he'll dangle. Here's Michaud, gets a shot off. Brown makes the save, and he wants off as the lines are changing. Still no score. We're in the first period here. Beeville breaking out to center ice, and they'll dump it from the red line as they want to change as well. Puck goes in behind the net. After it, here comes Massena's Brandon Hall. Headman pass intercepted there, dumped right back in the Massena zone. It'll trickle in on DeLille, and he'll hold on as that jumped over Nick Toth's stick and rolled to DeLille.
One thing that Beeville has exhibited in this first 10 minutes of this first period is quick line changes, and I like that. You know, you get out there, you go hard 45, 50 seconds and get off, and they've all three lines are rolling over three lines and six defensemen. They're not out there long.
They got a good transition game.
Oh, excellent transition. They go D to D, and they move the puck.
Off the face, puck sits. Massena controls. Ramo clears it off a leg out to center ice. Picked up by Baldwinsville as they try to move it back to the Massena line. Here's Lazare on the wing to Levine. He'll just dump it in the zone. Back after it is Ryan Heath. Somebody broke a stick.
Catanzari.
And no, it can't be him. It's got to be Tubolino.
Tubolino.
I wish Catanzari was out there. And here comes Beeville back to the Massena line. Picked up there by Lazare. He'll flip it on the open side. Hatch. Here's Hatch. Trying to move it out. It's blocked. Comes right back to Lazare. Steps to the red line. Flips it ahead. It's intercepted. Beeville controls it. It's Ryan Heath with it. Here's Heath. Headman pass on the wing. Quazala. His shot from center ice is blocked, and the puck poke checked away by Tubolino. Trickles in beside the net, where it's picked up by Brian Hatch. Hatch looks on the wing to Whitcup. Whitcup just moves it out to center ice, trying to barge his way through. Here's Whitcup. He finally lost it. And back comes, well, they try to come back, but it's intercepted there by Colin Lazare and dumped back down the ice. Inside Beeville territory. In behind the net, Whitcup chasing it, can't come up with it. It bounces free to Stocker, to the blue line, out to center ice. Toth is there to dump it to the open wing, right back in the corner. After it is Tim Neer with it. Behind his own net and around the boards it goes to center ice, intercepted. Leduc flips it, offsides, and Whitcup touched it on the way out, so offsides will be the call.
Down to 3:47 left in the first period, no score. Good flow of the game right now, up and down, good transition by both clubs, and goaltenders haven't been tested that much, especially Mike Brown, but Dusty DeLille's had a couple that he's had to be sharp on, especially that one from the top of the right face-off circle.
Michaud will take the face-off. for Massena. Toth gets it, flips it just inside the Beeville zone. Oh, the puck almost thrown away by the Beeville defense, but they move it takes a funny bounce out by the blue line. Foster can't control it, and back comes Beeville again the other way. Here comes Lappin. Nice move, but he's knocked off the puck at the last second. Toth back the other way. Here's Toth. Stops at the red line, gets knocked off the puck. Foster picks it up, and he'll stick handle, and dump it in the zone. As the Raiders want to make a change, they want to make a fast change. Here comes Beeville breaking down the left wing side. Here's a shot, goes wide, in behind the net. Another shot, knocked down in front. They got a man free. They bounce at it. Where is it? It's cleared high in the air, and they whack at it. How did that stay out of the net? There's a check and a penalty, and the first penalty of the game as Aaron Leduc gets leveled from behind, and Beeville will pick up their first penalty. In the Beeville kids' defense, Leduc started to duck just as he got hit, so it actually looked worse than it was.
Yeah, this is not a club that plays physical. It's the coach talked before the game. It is not. They don't play physical. In fact, in the sectional game against Oswego, there wasn't a penalty call on either team. Can you imagine going a high school game? We've seen it, but it's rare. Neither team had a penalty call. So
that's amazing.
It is amazing. But Ryan Hawthorne will get the gate for the Bees. Raiders on the power play.
Let's see if they can take advantage of the power play.
They've potted 14 power play goals this year. Let's see if we can make it 15.
Off the faceoff, Beeville controls. They'll dump it in the Massena zone. Picked up by Nick Toth. Toth, head man, right on the stick of Foster. Foster to Whitcup. Here's Whitcup taking it in left wing side, drops it to the point. Ryan Ramo, a little problem with it, but flips it to Whitcup. Whitcup has it knocked away and dumped down the ice. As the Raiders got in the zone, okay. Massena goaltender Dusty DeLille almost threw that away. Wow. Here comes Whitcup picking up some traffic. He dumps it deep. Brown's going to play it into the corner. Michaud steps in front, goes back to Foster behind the net. Foster flips it on the wing. Ryan Ramo back to the point. Nick Toth winds up his shot, deflected right on. Brown makes the save. Puck goes to Michaud, other corner. Back to the point. He goes to Ramo at the 45. Ramo back out by the blue line. Cross ice pass knocked away. Toth does a good job to keep it in. Flips it behind the net for Ramo. Ramo dumps it in the corner to Michaud. Raiders have caught a couple of breaks here. Right in front, Whitcup misfired on it. In the perfect shooting position. Bounce the side of the net, the wraparound attempt shot, and Brown makes a great save. Rebound still free. Cleared along the boards. Ramo throws a check, takes a whack at it, flips it in the corner. They battle for it. Whitcup steps in the circle, gets a shot off right on. Brown makes a save again. I can see why he's well thought of. Here's Foster, winds up his shot, save made. Again, Brown makes a good save. Raiders have had some good opportunities in this power play, and finally Beeville knocks it down the ice as the penalty has expired. Racing for it is Hawthorne. He's got a man coming behind. Here's a shot, save made. Big save by Dusty DeLille as the Raiders got a little sloppy. Here's another shot. And the Beeville player is knocked down from behind. We have a whistle. And there's going to be a hand pass called on Baldwinsville. I'll tell you what, the Raiders, after the power play, were slow to get back on the ice.
Well, they were going to call icing, but the puck stopped on the goal line just about an inch from going over, Jerry. Robbie Whitcup had two great opportunities. The first one in the high slot, Michaud sent a pass across, he fanned on it. The second one, he had a wide open net, and he didn't get all of it, and that allowed Brown to get across and make a save. But he had 3/4 of the net, and I don't know how it didn't go in.
You got to take advantage of those chances. Off the face-off. Just over a minute to go as the puck dumped in the corner, Massena zone. Here's Brandon Hall with it. His pass intercepted. Puck comes in behind the net. Knocked away to Levine, and Levine starts out for Massena. Headman pass, bounces by everybody. The icing is waved off. Devin Paquin chasing it down with a couple of Beeville players. Paquin manages to poke it free and comes up somehow with a puck. Here's Paquin back, trying to go back to Hall. He's still, now it's Tubolino, flipping it right in front, and the puck kicked into the corner by Brown. Here's Paquin, his pass intercepted, but Levine steals it behind the net. Here's Levine, battling his way free. He gets tied up by Dow's back checking. Levine somehow comes away with a puck. 22 seconds left. Centering pass back to the point, intercepted, but kept in the zone. Well, now it's out to center ice. Here comes Beeville with a 2-on-2. They make the move right down the middle. In front, the shot. It goes wide into the corner. 10 seconds left. Raiders try to break out of there. Just out to center ice. Dumped to Tubolino. 4 seconds left with Paquin coming in the zone. Will he have a chance to get a shot off? He will not. And the period ends 0-0. But all the excitement in this period was in the... Here we go. Off the face-off, Whitcup out there against Dow's. And the Raiders win the draw. Comes to Tothy, backhands it from the red line deep. Apparently not from the red line. It was pretty darn close, but they call the icing. And back it goes into the Massena zone.
Good crowd here tonight, Jerry, as we look around our vantage spot here on the on the north side. We can't see directly to our right or left, but across the way, it's a section 1 to our left is pretty well filled, and the visitor section over to right's not bad.
Off the face-off, here's a quick shot, knocked down. Here's another shot that goes wide, but not by much. A turnaround shot taken by Hawthorne. Puck still in the Massena zone. Puck in behind the net. Dow's with it. Dow's circles, moving it. They got a man in front, but it's knocked away. Raiders move it ahead. Michaud to Whitcup, busting down the right wing side. He'll take it in wide. Poke checked away from him nicely by the defenseman McMahon. He flips it around the boards in behind the net, and the puck trickles into the circle. Raiders control. Michaud. Michaud centering pass, knocked down by the goalie, comes to Whitcup, and it jumped over his stick. Here comes an opportunity, busting down the line. Hawthorne shot, he fired it wide. Puck in the corner. Raiders try to control it, move it out toward the blue line. Dow's dumps it in. Dusty stops that, leaves it in the corner for Hatch, who rips it around the boards. But in after it there is Quazala. Quazala, as they change lines, pokes the puck free. It's flipped around the boards, and Michaud races for it there. Throws the check. The puck bounces away. Hatch whacks it ahead to Whitcup, and Whitcup, headman pass to Foster. Here's Foster, gets by one, poked away. Whitcup follows, goes off his stick, out by the blue line. Foster takes a whack at it. It jumped over the glass into the stands, and we'll have a face-off as the Raiders will make their line change now. 13:40 remaining second period. It's still scoreless on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
We mentioned Beeville's top goal getters for the Raiders this year. Captain Robbie Whitcup leads with 15. Adam Katanzrik with 10, and Chris Levine and Aaron Michaud tied for third with 9 apiece.
Tubolino will take the face-off now for Massena, just inside the zone. He wins the draw to Ramo. His shot right on. Save made, but it was right at Brown. Puck comes back to the blue line and poked out to center ice. After there's Quazala. He headmans it in the Massena zone. That ought to be icing, except it doesn't cross the line. The Raider defenseman falls down. They got a man breaking in front. And that is an injured player. Who is that on the ice? Is that
I'm not sure if it's Colin Lazaire or not, but he lost his edge just as he crossed over the goal line. He bumped with the Baldwinsville player, and he went up, and he didn't take the brunt of the hit into the boards. Jerry was on the ice. He hit the ice first before he hit the boards, but I think it's Colin Lazaire. Yeah, he's either that or it's not Captain Nick Toth, is it? Boy.
He's moving a little bit, but moving very slowly. Coach Ed Latham is out there looking at him.
He and the Baldwinsville player were racing for the puck. They both were just crossing the goal line, and the Massena player just kind of lost his edge, and his feet went out from under him, and he came down hard, mainly on his shoulder and his back, hit the ice first and then into the boards. But we're not able to pick up the number, but let's look across the way and see if we can see any numbers. I see 2 over there. Now I see it's Nick Toth, so I think it's Colin Lazaire.
I do too. I'm pretty sure it's Colin Lazaire.
He's up. He's coming up now.
No, who is it? Yeah, it is Colin Lazaire. And he's okay, I think.
Colin's had a tough year as far as injuries. Broken ankle early on and missed a ton of games.
And he's okay. He's skating over to the bench under his own power and looks okay. So that's good news for Massena. They certainly can't afford to lose any defensemen.
That's right. It is good news, and for anyone who goes down that hard and able to get up. But I was not that I wasn't concerned, but I knew he didn't hit the boards first was a big thing. I thought maybe he lost some wind or something, and which I think that's what happened.
So the face-off will be in the Massena zone. Heath will draw against Tubolino. Off the face-off, Beeville controlling it, trying to move it through. Tubolino gets a whack at it to Levine. Levine skates it ahead, doesn't clear the zone, comes back toward the blue line. Kept in at the point by the defenseman. They move it around the horn. In the corner it goes. That's Ryan Heath, has it knocked away. by Tubolino. He'll start out on the left wing side. Tubolino, headman pass, goes to Ryan Ramo, and he dumps it. It's going to go to Levine on the off wing, steps in behind the net, tries to wrap the short side, but Brown's got that covered and holds on for the face-off.
Chris Levine tried a smart move. It looked like he was going to swoop in behind the net and come out on the long side, but he put the brakes on abruptly and tried to come out the short side, but Mike Brown was having nothing to do with that. He read the play. Excellent job, but a good heads-up move by Chris Levine.
Raiders making the change now as the Rupert line coming out. Rupert, Menkes, and Aaron Ramo. Fiorentino's line out there. Fiorentino, Stocker, and Daniels for Beeville off the draw. The puck controlled by the Bees as they move it ahead to center ice. Here comes Daniels, makes the cut in front, shot save. Rebound, a big one, but it's clear to the blue line. Here's a shot from the point, deflected. In behind the net it goes. They move it all the way down the ice as it went right between the two defensemen. Brown will come out and play it, and he'll just drop it for his defenseman. And here's the puck around the boards to the blue line, and it trickles out to center ice. Ramo turns around and dumps it off the boards in the corner. Stopped by Brown behind the net. He'll play it into the corner, goes to Ramo. Ramo gets tied up, and the puck squirts free to the blue line. Hatch pinches in, keeps it in. Goes behind the net, Menkes. Menkes controls it. Back to the point. Here's Hatch, winds up his shot through traffic, it's knocked down. It comes to Whitcup, who's out there now. Whitcup centering pass goes off a leg, off to Hall, who dumps it in behind the net off the boards. And Brown says, I don't like what I'm seeing here, so he covers up.
That time, Captain Robbie Whitcup out there centering between Thomas Menkes and Aaron Ramo. I don't know if Derek Rupert is hurt or missing his shift.
Well, he started that shift. Rupert did, but I don't know where he went.
He wasn't out there too long, but that time Menkes did an excellent job as he intercepted a clearing pass by Mike Brown.
Okay, Whitcup, no, it's going to be Michaud taking the face-off against Dow's. Off the draw, puck trickles back toward the blue line. Raiders, can they keep it out? No, they can't. Keep it in. Here comes Dow's with it, down the right wing side. Slides it in behind the net. And the puck comes free to Dow's again in the corner. He'll go back to the point with it. Here's a shot in behind the net. It goes. They center it all the way back to the point. Another shot knocked down by Whitcup. Comes to Raiders. Long wing pass by Foster. Michaud chasing it down. Poke check nicely by goaltender Brown in the corner, but Whitcup picks it up. Takes it behind the net, trying to shake his check. He does. Flips it around the boards, but it's going to be intercepted there by Elias. Now back in behind the net it goes. Around on the other side. McMahon after it. He's checked in the boards by Foster. They both go down. The puck comes to Whitcup. Back to Foster, who's back up. Steps into the circle. Centering pass. Michaud shot. Scores a goal! Aaron Michaud, and the Raiders take a 1-0 lead.
And there go the tennis balls. Aaron Michaud on a beautiful feed from Andrew Foster has, I think that was Robbie Whitcup in the corner, outworked the Baldwinsville defenseman, and he slid up along the boards to Andrew Foster. He came off the right boards, looks like he was going to shoot, but then he saw Michaud in front of the net. Great pass, and what I liked about Michaud, he outweighted Brown. He made Brown make the first move, got him going down, and then he put it right between the legs through the 5-hole. We haven't seen this in a long time. The tennis balls. There must be 50 tennis balls out there. If there's one, I don't know. The Raider faithful were
Well, you know what? I'm kind of glad to see it.
I'm not going to say I condone it, but I'm kind of glad to see it myself.
You know, it's about time we get a little spirit here at this arena.
There you go.
You know, I'm sure they're going to make an announcement.
Oh, they will.
You know, it'll be a penalty against the home team, and that's all we needed was the first one. From now on, don't worry about it. But that's what home ice is about, Coach.
You bet it is. Nice little added touch. I remember years ago when we used to have that great enthusiasm, we'd have those things once in a while, but we haven't seen that in a long time. But that was a good goal. Again, Aaron Michaud's going to get the goal. Great shot as he outweighed it as he went across the crease area about 10 feet out from right to left, and Brown went with him, but he made Brown commit first, and when he did start to go down, he opened up the 5-hole, and that's where Michaud put it. But a great pass from Foster, and I think Robbie Whitcup is going to pick up the assist too as he worked the puck out of the corner.
He got some nice noise from the crowd too.
Yes, it did.
So the Raiders get the first goal tonight, and that's pretty important, I think.
It sure is, especially against two clubs that don't score a lot of goals and have good, solid goaltending. That first one is really important. got a little note here. The Baldwinsville fans are calling for a delay of the game. I don't think they're going to get it.
If this happens again, they might.
Yeah. Here comes the announcement.
So the Raiders get the first goal. Aaron Michaud from Spanky Foster and probably Robbie Whitcup as well. Whitcup did a lot of work in the corner for that one.
A great pass by Foster. He was at the dot on the right side, and I thought he was going to shoot it, and so did Brown. But he somehow saw Michaud on that left side and put it right on the tape.
Off the face-off, puck still in the zone, now out to center ice. Here comes Whitcup. Whitcup trying to barge his way by on the left side, knocked off his stick. Puck in the corner. Whitcup steals, shot right on Brown. Good save. Nice, headed for the far corner. Brown got the glove on it.
Robbie Whitcup picked up that puck along the left boards after Michaud and the defender at Jossifor picked it up and went in on that left side. Good shot, but a nice glove save by Mike Brown as he put out that left hand.
So Whitcup will take the face-off. So Michaud gets the goal from Foster and Whitcup, I believe is what she said. Off the draw. Here's a chance. Michaud! Glove save again by Brown. Big shot and a quick save by Brown. He's quick. Now the puck in behind the net. They battle for it there. Of course, the goal has put a little jump in Massena's step. They didn't give Whitcup an assist, or did they? Puck dumped right back in the zone. Delay offsides on Massena. They still haven't cleared the zone yet, and now they're going to be called for it. And the faceoff will move outside.
That'll be Aaron Michaud from Andrew Foster, and Robbie Whitcup will be picking up the assist on that goal. We'll get the official. I'm sure Whitcup gets a goal, gets an assist, but anyway, he gets a coach's assist on that for his work. But just right after that, Whitcup had a good, then Michaud off the draw. Whitcup won it right to Michaud, and he ripped one, and that was labeled just under the crossbar, top glove side. Brown, beautiful save.
Face off just outside the zone. Tubolino's line out there now, across the blue line. Poke check back out to the Massena line, and in the zone it goes. And now the puck in the corner. In behind the net, Leduc with it. Leduc trying to poke it by the defenseman. Comes back to the point. Here's a shot. Dusty makes a big save. And Leduc corrals the rebound, starts it out. Here's Leduc banging it to center ice. Picked up there by Yurden, and he dumps it back in the zone, or Ducharme rather. Now in behind the net it goes. Picked up there by Beeville. They move it around the horn. That's Daniels in behind the net, taken away from him by Hatch. Hatch battling for it with Stocker. Raiders come free with it. Tubolino, that should have been a tripping call. Now they're going to call it.
Oh, yeah.
I think had he gotten clear, they wouldn't have called it. But because Beeville took the puck back the other way, they had to.
That's exactly right. He wasn't going to. It was a blatant trip. Nick Tubolino tripped right at the dot as he's going with a puck, and he wasn't going to call it, but he saw Beeville get the puck and create a scoring opportunity. He made the call.
Had to.
But
Raiders come out on the power play.
That's an awful slow call, though.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing for on his part. It was the right call, but he initially wasn't going to make it.
Whitcup takes the face off, wins the draw to Toth rather. Toth circles back in his own end, looks up ice. On the wing to Ramo, a little bit too far, but he follows it and dumps it deep. Brown will play it behind the net, around the horn. Whitcup steps in front of it. Here's Whitcup moving it in front to Foster, has it knocked away. Actually had his stick lifted, and the puck dumped down the ice by Beeville. Racing hard after it is Dowse. DeLille will sweep it around the other way. Michaud goes back to Toth. Toth picks it up behind his own net. Aggressive penalty kill here for Beeville. Raiders clear it ahead to Whitcup. Whitcup, head man to Michaud. Michaud poked away, knocked down, but he's got it out by the blue line. His shot is blocked. Comes back toward the blue line. He flips it in the corner, knocked away. Kept in by Michaud as the two Beeville players ran into each other. Picked up by Foster behind the net. Raiders setting up the power play now. Centering pass comes right back to Foster off a stick. And he throws it away and out to center ice. After it is Toth. Circles back in his own end. 30 seconds left in the man advantage. Ramo ahead to Foster. He'll dump it around the boards. Stopped by Brown behind his own net. He waits to play it. Flips it, almost lost it. Now the puck dumped down the ice by the Bees. And they're going to make a change in penalty killers. Here comes Toth after. Picks up a forechecker in Elias. And flips it over on the other side. And around the boards it goes. Coming back for it is Ramo. Ramo drops it back to Toth as the seconds tick off, and that power play didn't accomplish much of anything for Massena.
I don't think they got a shot on goal, Jerry.
Very aggressive penalty kill that time. The last time, Baldwinsville sat back in their own end. This time they went right after Massena.
Well, even when Massena gained the zone, they were tentative. They weren't sure what they wanted to do. The first time, they knew exactly what they wanted to do and executed. That time, a little tentative with the pass, not sure, and it showed out there. I don't think they got a shot on goal.
8:16 left in the second period. Raiders lead by 1-0. Here comes Massena. Across the blue line. Ramo, he'll dump it in behind the net. Raiders 1-0 on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard, but here comes Beeville. They move it out to center ice. Into the zone is Heath, and we're going to have an offsides as the wing, or actually that's the defenseman, Yurden, was drawn offsides.
Well, he came charging out of his zone with the puck, and the Raider defenseman stayed right on the line to try to stop him, missed him, and it was almost a 2-on-1 till Derek Rupert did some good back checking.
Rupert off the faceoff, wins the draw to Hall. He just flips it ahead. Into the zone it goes, picked up by Zinsmer around the boards. In behind the net. Again, the defenseman trying to clear it around. The puck squirts free, and out to center ice it goes. Here comes Baldwinsville into the Massena zone. The shot dumped into the corner. Racing after it is Heath. Knocked off his stick, comes to Lazier. Good to see him back. Heath trying to step by the check. He gets tied up. The puck is underneath. They battle for it side of the net. It bounces in front, but the Raiders control and move it out to center ice. Rupert doing a good job there. Dump back in the Massena zone. Puck side of the net, picked up there. Lazier, he flips it around the boards. Defenseman pinches in, keeps it in. Flips it behind the net. Now Hall after it. Using his size to his advantage, he flips it ahead of the blue line. Not out of the zone, knocked down in front though, and the Raiders move it. Hall, headman pass off Rupert's leg. It'll trickle back inside, and Yurden will pick it up. Raiders make a change, keep the puck in the zone. Puck stops side of the net. Levine trying to center it. It's knocked away by Zinsmeyer. He moves it to the blue line, not out of the zone. Puck squirts free. Ramo steps by the check, takes it in the dot, poked away, back to the blue line, kept in by Leduc, rather, as he flips it in behind the net. Puck around the boards in the corner. After it, Nick Tubolino. Tubolino squirts it free, but it's going to be picked up by the defenseman. And they flip it around the boards to the blue line, not out of the zone, kept in behind the net. Tubolino flips it on the other side for Ramo. Ramo dumps it behind the net, met for Levine, a little bit too far. Around the horn it goes to the blue line and out to center ice. Leduc is there to flip it back in the zone. Raiders have to clear. They want a line change. Here comes Baldwinsville. They just dump into the Massena zone. They want a line change too. Not going to go far enough for icing. Toth has to come back and gather it. He'll start out right side. Looking for the wing. Nobody there. Doesn't clear the zone. The puck knocked in the circle. Here's a chance in front. They got a man free shot. Kicked away by Dusty DeLille. Puck clear to the blue line. Out to center ice. Back it comes in Massena territory. Delay offsides. Raiders look to clear. They do. Out to center ice. Dumped right back in it goes. Here's Leduc. Leduc gathers it. Does a shift. Looks. Head man pass right on the stick of Whitcup. Whitcup flips to Michaud. He just deflects it in the corner. Racing after it there. The Bees moving around behind the net. Stepping in front. Foster. Fan on a clearing pass. And here comes Beeville back the other way. They've got a man breaking down the wing into the Massena zone, trying to follow up on the play. The puck goes to Near. Near slides it side of the net, and Dusty DeLille will jump on it and hold on for the faceoff.
Dusty DeLille, his best and biggest save of the night as he just robbed number 15, Steve Daniels. As the Raiders try to clear the puck, the defenseman behind the net ran it on the boards to that right side. There was no one there except the Beeville defenseman. He dumped it in front, and somehow Daniels came up with it and found himself all alone, one-on-one with Dusty DeLille. And DeLille, great save.
Whitcup will take the faceoff in the Massena zone. Faceoff right side. And now they're going to toss Robbie out of the circle. And Dow's, I know Dow's is going to stay in there. Foster will take the face-off now. Off the draw, Foster wins it. In behind the net. Hatch gets tied up. Whitcup comes back to help out. Here's Whitcup getting tied up. And Whitcup battles for it. Puck goes along the boards to Foster. Foster trying to move it out of the zone. Knocked away, goes in behind the net. Lazier after it. Lazier can't control it. Throws a check, though. Whitcup picks up the puck, starts it ahead. He's got Michaud breaking out of the zone. Michaud lost it off the end of his stick. And back comes Beeville the other way. Puck at the red line, at the blue line. Here's a shot blocked. Comes right in front. Knocked away. It's under the Massena defenseman. Lazier flips it on the glass out to center ice. And the Raiders want a line change. Puck around the boards to the Massena line and down the ice. And they're going to wave the icing off. Massena didn't even try to play that one. And the puck is dumped up into the wall. And we'll have a face-off. And that should move outside the zone, as it was Beeville dumping it up into the wall.
Yeah, but I disagree why there wasn't any icing. That puck was fired and went by everybody right here. And the defenseman down there, even if he would have been Joe Rocket, couldn't have caught that puck from that weak side, Jerry. But
why
anyway,
is the face-off inside?
They claimed it hit maybe
stick?
Somebody's stick, the defenseman's stick. Yep.
Okay. Face-off right side in the Massena zone, right off the draw. Here's a shot, right on. Sabate sits in front, bounces in the slot, and it's knocked up into the corner. And again, the Raiders are living dangerously here. Heath along the boards now, gets tied up. Foster can't control, or that's Tubolino. Levine, though, follows. Here's Chris Levine just flipping it into the corner. In behind the net, it comes to Yurden. Yurden gets tied up, kicks it free. Tubolino can't find it, and the puck comes to Dowd. He'll start it out. Headman pass on the wing. Here comes Quazala. Makes a move by the Massena defenseman. Centering pass, and the puck fired right across the goal mouth. And who was that back checking for? Was it Levine?
No, it was 19. That was a defenseman. Great job by Hall.
Here's a shot wide. Puck rips around to the other point. Yurden flips it in the corner. Puck bouncing to Toth. He knocks it away to Tubolino. He'll start out. Tubolino flipping it ahead. Here comes Ramo. He dumps it to the blue line. Tubolino trying to follow. Has it knocked away. Raiders making a change. Right back comes Beeville into the Massena zone. Poke checked away by Nick Toth. Comes to Michaud. Michaud moving it ahead to Foster. Foster trying to barge his way through. Following up is Tubolino. Tubolino right side gets a shot off, goes wide around the boards. Michaud after it. Michaud flips it in the corner. Foster is out there, throws a check. The puck squirts free, picked up by Heath. Heath moves it ahead to the blue line. Picked up there by Lazaire, flips it ahead to Whitcup. Whitcup flips it to Foster. Foster right across the blue line. Offsides.
Great defensive play by Brandon Hall has the line of Heath, Dowd, and Quazala broke away on an odd man rush and ended up with Quazala on the puck. Occupy the defense with a little flip pass to number 26, Eamon Dowd, who would have had a great opportunity, but just a great back-checking job by Brandon Hall as he tied up Dowd at that last second.
Now Whitcup coming back off the ice.
Has to be for an equipment, I'm sure.
Okay. Must be he needs something, so we're going to have Aaron Ramo out there with Foster and Michaud. I don't know if we've ever seen this combination. Off the draw, the puck out to center ice. Michaud, written into the boards, the puck squirts free. Lazaire flips to an open wing at center ice. Picked up there on the defense by Neer. Timmy Neer flips it on the other side for Ducharme. Ducharme moves it down the sideline, and they dump it in the Massena zone. Puck in behind the net. DeLille plays it wide into the corner. Hard check thrown there. Comes to Massena defenseman Leduc, who gets tied up. He's down on top of it, and he gloves it all the way around the boards. Kept in at the point. Foster has it poked away, gets it back again. The puck comes free. Michaud clears to the blue line. Here's a shot. DeLille makes a big save, comes all the way back to the point. Here's another shot. It's blocked by Michaud and up into the Beeville bench. With 2:18 left in the second period, Raiders continue to lead 1-0 on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
And again, dodged the bullet. The center of the defense down deep in the corner. Couldn't get the puck out. And the left wing from Massena dropped down low. He got the puck, and he tried to run it up the boards and clear the defenseman, but he couldn't. And kept in on that strong side. They threw the shot through that crease area. Deflection just wide of the net. Good opportunity for Baldwinsville.
Off the face-off. Raiders clear it to center ice. Bounces into the Beeville zone. Picked up there by Lappin. Clears it out to the neutral zone. Bouncing around at the red line. Tubolino after it. He gets checked, but Ramo picks up the loose puck. Ramo and Levine breaking in. Ramo has it poke checked away by the defenseman. McMahon, too bad he didn't see Levine breaking toward the middle. Here's a shot from the point. That's wide. The puck around the other side. Brandon Hall pinches in. Trying to flip it in the corner. Bouncing. Into the corner it goes. Picked up by Lappin, the defenseman. Here's Lappin with it. Moving it to the blue line. And here comes center ice. Massena trying to clear the zone. Dow's his shot. Gloved by Dusty. Don't know if it was on net, but he's going to hold on.
Oh, great opportunity gone by the boards by Massena as the Baldwinsville defenseman elected to take a hit along the boards. Hit one of the Massena players. Forgot the puck, and Ryan Ramo and Chris Levine broke in on a 2-on-1, and I think he saw Chris Levine, Jerry. I just didn't think he put an extra move, and that delay or that extra move allowed the defenseman to knock the puck off his stick. But a great scoring opportunity by the boards.
Dow's against Whitcup. Face-off off the draw. Foster loses it. Whitcup gets it back. Now it goes to Toth. Toth off the boards. He didn't get quite enough on. I think it took a funny bounce. Now Whitcup throws a check. The puck goes back into the Massena zone. In behind the net, Toth after it. He'll flip it around the boards for Michaud. Michaud picking it up, moving it, doesn't get it out of the zone. Kept in there by the defenseman, Lappin. He'll dump it in behind the net. Bounces side of the net, in front of the net, clear to the blue line, but not out by Massena. Again, Raiders with a chance to clear the zone. They don't. Puck comes around to Whitcup. Whitcup has it knocked back to the point. And the Massena defenseman, here's a shot up over the net. Bouncing puck, they try to wrap around, but it's cleared to the blue line and out to center ice. As it jumped over the stick of Lappin, back inside Beeville territory, where Whitcup steals the puck. Here's Whitcup breaking in front, shot. Big save, rebound. They battle at it, it's still free. Oh boy, what a great save by Brown.
Oh, last dying seconds of the period. Robbie Whitcup picking up a loose puck at the top of the circle on the left side, worked his way right in front, one-on-one with Mike Brown, and that time Brown didn't make the first move. He outweighted him and made Whitcup commit, and then made the save, but he didn't control the rebound, and Aaron Michaud was digging and diving. In fact, Baldwinsville's asking for a penalty there. What about that? And the referee saying, hey, the puck was loose. He's got a right to go to that net to try to knock it in.
41 seconds left in the second period. Raiders 1-0 lead here.
And dodged the bullet at the other end when they had 3 opportunities to clear and didn't, but came back, and boy, that would have been a big one.
Ryan Ramo will take the face-off. Off the draw, here's a shot, Levine, he fired it wide. Back to the blue line, out to center ice. Here comes a 2-on-1 for Beeville. Breaking in is Yurden, centering it in front, and it's cleared into the corner by Leduc. Made a great play to get back. Raider defenseman pinching up, got caught, and a 2-on-1, but they dodged a bullet again. Here comes the Massena defenseman, that's Hatch, dumping it deep. 18 seconds left in the period. Puck deep in the Beeville zone, comes out to center ice. Here come the Bees. Here's Heath from center. Shot kicked aside. With 8 seconds left, here's another shot knocked down in the circle. Bouncing to the blue line, knocked down in front. Here's a shot, big save by DeLille, buzzer sounds, and the period ends. And the Raiders dodge about 3 bullets at the end of the... when he was in high school.
And the Knights, speaking of the Knights, a couple of big games this weekend.
Oh boy. All right, Whitcup in the face-off circle for the Massena Red Raiders against Ken Dow's, and we're ready to go. Off the draw. Puck controlled by Michaud. He dumps it on the backhand. Brown stops at side of the net. Leaves it for his defenseman, Lappin. Lappin bangs it off the boards. In behind the net. It comes right back to him. Off a couple of sticks. He'll try the other side. Kept in at the point momentarily by Massena. It trickles out. Hatch can't control it. Gives up the 2-on-1. Here comes Beeville. A shot. Dusty makes the save, and the puck goes into the corner. Raiders pick it up. Foster. Headman pass Michaud right on the tape. He winds the big drive up over the net. And Whitcup follows up, trying to take it in the corner. It's off his stick, goes to Billy Lappin. Lappin starts out, moving it ahead. Here comes Lappin, and he'll stop, and then he takes it across, winds up, the shot glove save, and DeLille's going to hold on for the face-off. Again, the Massena defenseman got caught up and gave up a 2-on-1, but the Bees didn't take advantage of it.
Billy Lappin, one of the seniors on this Beeville club. Not many. They're 9 starting forwards. They have 5 juniors, a senior, 2 sophomores, and an 8th grader. And on defense, 2 seniors, 1 junior, 2 sophomores, and a 9th grader in the starting 6.
Off the face-off, here's the quick shot. It's blocked. Where's the puck? Out by the blue line, poked free. Leduc trying to come up with it. He can't. Puck side of the net. Got a man in front. Try to feed it to him a little bit too hard. Goes into the corner. They battle for it there. Tubolino. Tubolino takes a whack at it, can't control it. Puck stolen in front, swept back to the blue line. Here's the chance, here's the drive through traffic, goes off a leg, and the Raiders pick it up and move it out to Ramo. Ramo takes it. Here's Ryan Ramo. He goes wide, gets by one. Here's Ramo, centering pass. Levine can't catch it. The puck goes to Levine in the corner. He gets away in front. Ramo shot, save made. Rebound back to the blue line. Leduc winds up. His shot goes off a couple of legs, comes right back to him at the blue line, and he somehow keeps it in the zone and flips it in behind the net. Bouncing puck picked up there by Zinmeyer. He moves it around the boards to the blue line and out to center ice. The Bees got a 3-on-1. Here comes Beeville in the zone. The shot knocked across the goal mouth. They got another shot in front. Here's the follow-up play. It's knocked down in the slot. Here's another shot in behind the net. And around the boards it goes. Beeville still with the puck. Back to the point, out to center ice. That should be an offsides, and it is.
Jerry, on this last shift, we've had a 2-on-1 and a 3-on-1 with the Raider defensemen both times getting frozen at the offensive blue line, which I don't understand in a 1-0 hockey game. I just cannot. I don't know, boy, and I'm sure when they go to the bench, the Raider coaching staff is going to have a few words over there, especially Coach Brian Levac, who's in charge of the defense. And
can't give up a 2-on-1 and a 3-on-1.
Well, the 3-on-1, and I mean it was a 3-on-1 from the blue line.
Off the face-off, Ramo, that's Aaron, barges his way through, flips it to Mankies, who dumps it deep in the zone. In behind the net, Timmy Neer with it, stolen away by Rupert. Rupert to Ramo behind the net, turns it around. Ramo looks to center. Mankies goes through his skates into the corner. After it, Rupert staying with it. Mankies gets it free in front. Ramo poke checked away from him. And we got what? A roughing call on Beeville, and I didn't see that one.
I didn't either, but it looks like it's going to be, is that number 5, Ducharme?
I believe so. Raiders will go on the power play here. No, that's number 6. That's going to be Nick Fiorentino. That's his second penalty of the game.
Well, I didn't. It happened down deep in the defensive zone to the right of Brown, and he must have taken a punch at one of the Raider players.
That's the only thing I can think of, because I didn't see anything else. And the official was very adamant about it, called it right away.
Yeah, and the Beeville player went sheepishly to the box, didn't protest too much. So
now face off at the dot, right side of goaltender Mike Brown. Whitcup takes the draw, wins it to Foster. Foster goes to Ramo, back to the point. Nick Toth with it, back to Ramo at the 45, back to Toth at the point. Toth goes to Michaud at the other side. He'll dump it into Foster in the corner, left side of the goalie. Foster takes it right behind the net, goes to Ramo. His shot, deflected just wide. And around the boards it goes, picked up there and out to center ice, to the Massena line. And now there's going to be a penalty on Michaud. Raiders will touch the puck. And boy, I'll tell you, it's going to be interference on Michaud.
Yeah, Ryan Hawthorne racing out of his own end, either that or holding. We'll wait and see what the call is.
I think he called interference.
He called interference.
Yep.
Michaud back checking. Hawthorne had dumped the puck down. I thought he had touched it last. I don't know what. And racing down in the Massena end to get it, and Michaud good back checking. I thought he just rubbed him out of the play, but that'll negate that power play. 4-on-4.
Interference the call. So now it's 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders, as Dowles and Whitcup will face off in the Massena zone. 1-0 Raiders lead on the Snyder and Snyder attorneys at law scoreboard. Off the face-off, puck side of the net, goes to Nick Toth. He starts out. Here's Toth, skates it ahead. He flips it off a skate. That's Rupert, and it goes off his skate in the corner. After it, Lappin, he'll flip it on the other side. They move that puck very well D to D. McMahon. Headman pass to center ice. Dowles knocked away from him. Rupert picks up the loose puck. He's rubbed off the play. Puck comes to the Massena line, and across it goes. Hall takes a whack at it. Puck squirts free. Bouncing in front of the net. Toth picks it up. Headman pass. Whitcup. Can he chase it down? I think he's at the end of a shift as Brown comes out to center ice. And you give him a lot of credit, but he didn't have much gas left in the tank.
Nick Toth tried to lead him, but he let him just a little bit too much.
Back comes Hawthorne. Hawthorne, makes a nice move, gets a shot off, it goes in the net. Oh, DeLille had that one, and it got by him somehow. And the Beeville Bees have tied it up on a weird one.
Well, it was a 40-footer or so just at the top of the left face-off circle, and the Beeville player just trying to get it on goal. There wasn't anybody else around, and Dusty DeLille came out, cut the angle, but it went right between the legs. He got a piece of it, but not enough. It just got between the legs and trickled over the goal line, and that comes with 11:24 left in this hockey game. We have a tie game, 1-1. But Dusty would like to have that one back, but he stopped a lot of tough ones here today, so we'll forgive him for that one, but he's tough on himself.
Now the Raiders have to get back here. It's still 4-on-4. Off the face-off. Puck comes to Leduc, off the glass high. Around the boards it goes. Ramo flipping it ahead. to Aaron Ramo. The two Ramos out there as Massena will be killing a penalty here in a few seconds. This will be the first power play, albeit a brief one, for Beeville. Here comes an opportunity for Ryan Ramo, but he's rubbed off the play nicely by Yurden as Aaron Ramo follows up and flips it back in the zone. Beeville controlling the puck now. Yurden with it. Headman pass goes by everybody into the Massena zone. There's a foot race for it. Lazaire picks it up, whacks it ahead, and it goes up into the stands. And we'll have a face-off in the Massena zone with 4 seconds left in the man advantage.
And that tying goal coming at the 3:36 mark. Ryan Hawthorne, his 14th of the year with Ryan McMahon, and goaltender Mike Brown picking up an assist.
10:46 left in the third period on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard, a 1-1 tie hockey game. This certainly was not the best chance Baldwinsville had in this game.
No, Dusty would like to have that one back, as we said, but he's been tough.
Off the faceoff, Dowles wins it back to the point. Here's a drive, and that goes in the net. I don't know if that was deflected in front, and I don't know if it'll go down as a power play goal, but Beeville takes a lead 2-1.
That shot coming from the right point. Bill Lappin taking the shot. A nice low shot. Beeville won the draw. Got it back to Lappin at that right point, and he screamed a low bullet. And again, I'm not sure if it hit something, but it certainly has put the Beeville Bees in a short span of, we'll figure it out in a second, not too many seconds, but 2 goals to go up 2-1, and that will be a power play goal, I do believe.
So the Bees take the lead 2-1 with 10:39 left in the third period. Puck back in the Massena zone, a 2-on-1 again, but it's poke checked away by Toth. Puck bounces behind the net, comes free to Foster. Foster picks it up, flips it ahead, does not clear the zone. Puck dumped in behind the net. Around the boards, in the corner, Michaud throws a check. The puck bounces free, controlled by Whitcup. Whitcup on the wing to Foster. He'll break out. He's got Michaud. Michaud busting down. Takes it wide. Backhander is deflected by the defenseman up into the mesh. And we'll have a face-off.
We're not sure of the goal. It was announced. We couldn't pick it up. Bill Lappin is either going... Bill Lappin is announced as getting the assist, so it must have hit somebody in front. I'm not.
Might have been Dowles in front.
Could have been Ken Dowles lurking in front, but it was a nice low shot that Lappin leashed just inside that right blue line, and it hit something and beat Dusty DeLille. That coming at the 4:18 mark.
So less than a minute between those two goals.
32 seconds.
Off the face-off. Tubolino back to the point. Here's a shot knocked down, goes in behind the net. Inside, Beeville territory, Levine. Levine barges his way through, fired it right across the goal mouth. Picked up by Tubolino, trying to center, it's intercepted, and here comes Beeville breaking it out to center ice. Just poke checked into the zone, in behind the net. DeLille clears it around the boards, comes back to the point. Here's a shot deflected wide in the corner, picked up by Ramo. Ramo's headman pass intercepted, and he follows up, flips it across the blue line into the Beeville zone. Picked up there by the defense. As they move it ahead and around the boards. Here comes Yurden with it. Yurden on the boards out to center ice. They battle for it there. Tubolino flips it ahead. So it was Ken Dowles who got the deflection in front. Puck around the boards. Controlled to the blue line. Kept in by Foster momentarily, but picked up there by the defense of Beeville. They'll move it to the Massena line. Across the blue line it goes. Picked up by Lazaire. Lazaire in behind the net. He'll flip it to an open wing. Tubolino back to pick it up. Tubolino moves it along the boards, trying to move it ahead. Knocked away. Here's Foster. Foster feeds Whitcup. Whitcup barges his way through, keeps it in the zone momentarily, but it's picked up by Fiorentino back checking, loses to Foster. Here's Foster in behind the net, trying to center it, goes off a leg, picked up on the defense by Yurden around the boards and out to center ice. Leduc flips it ahead to the blue line, back to the Massena line. Michaud gets by one, poke checked away. He'll have to come back. Check's thrown there right in front of the bench. Where is it? It's free by the blue line. Dumped down the ice into the Massena zone. That'll be icing. It isn't. And the Raiders come back to pick it up. I don't know why it wasn't. Nobody even touched it. But here comes Beeville right in front of the net. Right across it goes into the corner. Here's a shot right across the goal mouth, goes off a leg and out to center ice. Dump right back in the Massena zone. Colin Lazare picks it up. Nearing the midway point of the third period, Baldwinsville up 2-1. Here comes Aaron Ramo on the headman pass, takes it into the corner, left side, gets by one check, goes to Whitcup, to Michaud, his shot. St. Brown, a rebound, and free is front, and it's cleared by the defense and back the other way. That's actually Daniels moving it down the ice, rather Hawthorne. Hawthorne trying to barge his way through. Puck trickled in behind the net. Hawthorne flips it in the corner, going down. Puck battle for it there. Ramo comes away with it. Here comes Ramo down the left wing side. Goes to Michaud. Michaud flips it ahead to the blue line. Knocked into the corner. In behind the net. Brown stops it there. He's going to play it around the boards. Toth pinches in, keeps it in. Here's Toth. Skates away and has it knocked away. Kept in at the point by the Massena forward, Rupert that is, but now it's clear to the blue line. Rupert kicks it right back in again. Mankey's chasing it down. He can't catch up with it. It's out to center ice, to the Massena line. Here comes Toth back the other way from the red line. He fires it deep. All the way around the boards. Mankey stops it. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. It's back out to center ice. Back in the zone. Raiders get caught off sides. Have to clear the zone. Coming out of the zone. Here comes, well, it's going to be Hatch picking it up, as nobody really could control that. Finally, it's stolen away from him by Heath, and he'll dump to the Massena line. Brandon Hall. Hall back the other way. He just flips it inside the Beeville line. Dumped right back down into the Massena zone. Leduc flipping it ahead. Bounces by everybody. Here comes nobody. Finally in the zone, it's offsides. Is taking it in. It was Bill Lappin. That puck ping-ponged around at center ice, and nobody could gather it in.
It's exactly. That's a great description. It did ping-pong. The red line being the net, and the two blue lines the end of the ping-pong table. We're just going back and forth. That's what I chuckle at. Those two goals, I misspoke. It was 42 seconds. The first one 3:36, and then at 4:18, Dow's gets that second one as he tipped the Lappin shot from the point.
6:23 left. Time becoming a big factor here, with the Raiders trailing 2-1.
Yeah, they were playing so well up to that tying goal, and it's taken them back, and they were right back on their heels and gave up that go-ahead goal 42 seconds later, and it's certainly taken their toll right at this point.
Off the face-off, Raiders control. Colin Lazare flips it ahead for Levine. Lost it. Lazare follows, flips it on the wing. Tubolino goes to Ramo, and he lost it there. Dumped into the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. Lazare after it throws a check, comes away with a puck. Here's Lazare trying to flip it around, has it in turn stolen. Puck sits side of the net, it's right in front. Fired just wide. Puck around the boards. Lazare with it. He'll flip it along the boards in the corner. Controlled by Beeville, back to the point. They'll just dump it in the corner. Puck stolen in front. It bounced free to the blue line. Kept in at the point nicely by Yurden. The Bees keep putting the pressure on. That's the best way to play defense, I guess. Puck in the corner. Raiders can't get it out of the zone. Now finally comes to Ramo. He flips it to the blue line, doesn't get it out of the zone. Now Tubolino has it knocked away. He can't find it. Now it finally bounces out to center ice off Levine. Back to the Beeville line. Here comes Baldwinsville's Yurden. He's going to carry it, and he'll dump it from the red line deep in Massena territory. Stop behind the net, picked up by Hatch. Massena trying to break it out. Comes to Foster. Foster feeds Whitcup. Whitcup takes it wide, goes by one. Here's Whitcup backhand. There's going to be a penalty. And I don't know who that's on. It's going to be a slashing call on Beeville.
It's going to go against their captain. I think that might be Hawthorne. We'll wait and see. He slashed as Robbie Whitcup, number 16. That's McMahon, the big defenseman. Robbie Whitcup took a great pass on full flight right in the neutral zone from Andrew Foster, and he went down that left side, and he went around McMahon, and as he did, McMahon gave him a two-hander. Got a lot of lumber on him, so we've got a timeout right now.
Somebody called a time, probably Beeville, I would guess.
I think so. I think it's Baldwinsville timeout.
So the Raiders trail by 1, 2-1 on the Snyder & Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Our broadcast brought to you by Massena Optics, Main Street, downtown Massena. Also by the members of Seacom Federal Credit Union, locations in Massena, Potsdam, and Malone. By Seaway Orthopedics, Dr. Bedros Bakurtsian and the staff, Outer Andrew Street in Massena. By the North Country Savings Bank, locations in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, and Ogdensburg. Home of the no closing cost mortgage. By the men and women of Alcoa's Massena operations. By Seaway Tire for quality tires and great car care, East Orvis Street in Massena. And by the Doctors Clinic, Doctors Dobies and Burnett on East Orvis Street in Massena. 5:05 left in the third period. on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Beeville leading Massena 2-1.
Yeah, no scoring in the first period. The Raiders got the only goal in the second period when Aaron Michaud picked up his 10th of the year, and went into that third period leading 1-0 and playing some good hockey. But at the 3:36 mark, Beeville tied at Ryan Hawthorne, and kind of a strange one. A shot from the top of the left face-off circle at Dusty DeLille somehow eluded him and went between the legs. It just trickled over the line, and then just 42 seconds later, Ken Dow's on a power play goal. Beeville won the draw. They, on that right side, got it back to Bill Lappin at the right point. He scalded a low bullet, and Dow's redirected it by Dusty DeLille, and that's where we stand, 2-1 with 5:05 left in the game.
Face off inside Baldwinsville territory. Massena on the power play. Robbie Whitcup, Michaud out there, Foster, Ramo, Toth, and Levine, I think, off the draw. Puck sits in the circle. Whitcup after it. Takes it out by the blue line and gathers it in, goes to Toth. Toth over the other side. We got a man in the crease, I'm sure. Yep, Foster was in the crease.
You can't stand there and argue with him, Andrew. He's going to make the call. You're in the crease. You got to. Andrew's still pleading his case, but to no bail, that's you can't be in that blue ice dying minutes on a power play.
Whitcup will take the face-off outside the zone. Off the draw, Beeville wins it and dumps it. Off the glass and down the ice it goes. Nick Toth after it. Toth will carry it. Now he headmans to Ramo. Ramo takes it wide, kicks it in the corner, but it's picked up there by Beeville. They move it to the blue line and out to center ice. Uh-oh, here comes a 2-on-1 the other way. Here comes the shot. He fired it wide, and it's going to come to Ramo. Ramo's headman to Whitcup. Whitcup breaks down the line across the blue line. Oh, offside's the call.
Yeah, but Aaron Michaud was offside, but you can't blame him. Robbie Whitcup made an extra 2 or 3 moves that dipped at that blue line. He's got to go, it was a 3-on-1. He's got to cross that blue line before he starts that dipping and diving, because his wingers are going hard. He's got to gain the zone first, and he made an extra couple of moves outside the blue line. And that was a great, because Beeville broke away on a 2-on-1. We actually had him down just 2 guys in that defensive zone.
Off the draw, puck sits at the circle. Comes to Toth. He'll rip it around the boards, high on the glass. Stopped by Brown, in behind the net. He comes way out to play. Plays it right to Whitcup. They move it across in front, and the puck comes back to the blue line. Oh boy, they almost caught Brown making a mistake.
Monumental mistake.
Yeah, and they couldn't get it in front of the net. And we have a final in the other game. LaSalle beat Gates Chili 1-0. So LaSalle will come to the winner of this game. Here's a shot from center ice. Brown makes a save. But the puck knocked down. Now it's dumped down the ice. All the way down. The Raiders squandered this power play. And DeLille will play it around the boards for Michaud. Michaud will drop it back. So now we're down to 3:42. Raiders trail by Singleton as Toth carries the puck out of the zone. Headman pass goes to Michaud. He'll take it across. Here's Michaud right down the middle. The shot right on. Brown makes a pretty decent save as he used the defenseman as a screen. Comes back to Michaud at the point. Flips it in the corner. Whitcup. Whitcup centering pass. It bounces in front. Back to the point. Here's a quick shot knocked down. Puck goes into the corner. They battle for it there. It's dumped out to center ice. Racing for it is Leduc. Takes a whack at it. Does he clear the zone? He does not. Following up on the play, the Raiders, can they clear the zone? Whitcup moves it out to center ice. Here comes Aaron Ramo. Ramo flipping it ahead. Paquin. Paquin just backhands it across the blue line right back out to center ice. Bouncing free. Picked up there by Josh Elias. Elias will dump from the red line. He'll dump it in to the Massena zone. Picked up by Lazaire. We're down to 2:48. Time's a wasting here. Leduc gets tied up in the corner. Has the puck underneath him. It goes to Paquin. Paquin headman. Goes by everybody. Down the ice right in on Brown. And he plays it ahead. Brown plays it. Back the other way out to center ice. Here comes Hawthorne. Winds up. Shot from center. Big rebound. Cleared to center ice. Ramo. Ramo flips to Levine. Levine coming in. Takes a check. Here's Levine out by the blue line. Gets a shot off. Save the big rebound. Nobody there. Now the puck in the corner. Clear to the blue line. Out to center ice. We have a whistle. We got a penalty against who?
I think it's going to be Devin Paquin for a tripping call. forechecking up in the offensive end. Those are bad ones to take as
oh boy,
he checked with a stick instead of the legs. And yeah, with 2:13, you take a penalty in that offensive zone. Raiders are trying to get the equalizer, and the puck, you're battling for it in the heat of the moment, but you really have to be disciplined and say, especially in that offensive zone, we can't take those stick penalties. And
boy, that's a bad one to take.
Raiders are going to be down a man, but they've scored shorthanded goals before. But,
one.
Well.
Whitcup right back out there with Michaud, Toth, and Lazare. Beeville on the power play. Now Massena's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, that's a good move by Coach Latham. He, in the last 2:13, he wants to get all his guns out there, and they'd been out there in that last shift, and he wants to give them a little bit of a breather and go over what they have to do, and when he does pull the goaltender, and who's going to go on when we pull the goaltender. But and they've got to, even though they're down, they can't be thinking defensive now. They're down a man. They got to think offense.
And they've been able to move the puck in shorthanded situations, as you mentioned. We'll see what happens here, but you got to figure Beeville, being the defensive team that they are, they're going to play defense. You would, Jerry, but I was just going to say, sometimes I watch them out there, and they keep that strong side defenseman up on that line. They haven't backed off, and they haven't changed that from the get-go. So if we, by chance, we get possession of it in our own end, if we can sneak that guy out on that weak side in behind, and that guy with the puck just gets it and throws it up the middle or on the boards or whatever, there is a possibility. And it's certainly a tall task, because once you get it over that blue line, you still have to beat that big number 30 down there, and he's been pretty tough tonight. Yeah, he has. Massena's only able to beat him once. 2-1 the score. Beeville leading with 2:13 left in the third period. Unofficially, the shots in this period, Baldwinsville out shooting Massena 6-4, but it has not been a big offensive period except for those 2 goals. No, but the Raiders have been buzzing around there, but again, their old bugaboo unable to finish. They've had, with that crashing style of theirs, they've had some opportunities up in there, but they just can't finish them off. Well, it's got Robbie Whitcup, Nick Toth, Colin Lazare, and Aaron Michaud are the 4 that are going to be out there for Massena. Ken Dow's out there with his line mates. Elias and Hawthorne. Off the draw, it comes back on the defense. That's McMahon. He'll go on the other side for Billy Lappin. Has the puck stolen by Michaud. He just flips it in the zone. Lappin after it to McMahon. McMahon waits, fakes, passes it to the Massena line. Knocked away by Lazare. He'll flip it back out to the neutral zone. Comes across into Massena territory. They'll drop it back to the blue line. And it's intercepted. Michaud, he couldn't quite get to it. He almost did. Now it's dumped up into the stands. No, it didn't quite make it over the glass. Back to the blue line. Here's a drive from the point. Save. No, they score. That's it. 3-1. It's going to be, I think, number 19 is going to get the goal. I think it's Hawthorne. We'll make 19 or 10, but I think it's Hawthorne that was, the shot came from the point, and Dusty either made the save or it hit the goalpost on the left side, bounced across to the right side, and I think it was Hawthorne. We'll wait and see. Ryan Hawthorne was there on the wide open side, and he just put it in the empty net. That Baldwinsville will go on to the next round. Yep, they'll be playing. Actually, they'll be at home to Troy LaSalle. Minute 37. Well, yes, it's still possible. Very tall order, but the Raiders, I know, haven't given up. That will be a power play goal also. Right. So that off the face-off, Nick Toth with it. Toth flips it to Tubolino, who's back at the point. They want to get a little extra firepower out there, but Beeville controls it. And they just dump it down the ice. That'll be icing, I believe. Yep, that's the call. So at least the Raiders will get a face-off in the Beeville zone. I'm sure they'll pull their goalie. That third goal for Baldwinsville, it is Ryan Hawthorne, his second of the night and his 15th of the year. This is a power play goal, the 13:23 mark. Ryan McMahon picking up the assist as he's the guy that kept it in at the point, took the shot, and Hawthorne with the rebound. The net is empty at the other end. Massena getting the extra attacker. Puck comes right in front to Toth, his backhander, and that didn't quite get through, or else a big save was made. Michaud shot right on. Rebound cleared back to the blue line out to center ice. Michaud gathering it in, just over a minute to go. He'll flip it to Whitcup. Whitcup takes it, lost his edge, has it knocked away. Here's a shot dumped down the ice.
That'll be icing.
Should have been icing. They didn't call the icing, though. I don't know why. The Raiders clear it out to center ice, knocked away. Comes to Michaud. He'll dump it to Foster. Foster turns it around. Takes it by one check. Here's Foster. He's going to carry it in, and why not? Here's Foster. Takes it in behind the net, circles. Trying to center, comes to Whitcup, turns it around. Oh, he fired it just wide. Raiders just can't buy one. Now the puck goes all the way down the ice. Will go wide for icing, and the faceoff will come back inside the territory of Beeville.
And Ryan Ramo and Aaron Ramo looks like down here, and one of the Beeville players having a little set too. And didn't set too much. The officials got right in between them, but that's number 14 for Baldwinsville. That's Tim Neer, the defenseman. Each pick up a penalty with 30 seconds left to go in the Raiders season, but it's been a gutsy performance here tonight, giving up leading that 1-0 after 2, but 3 unanswered goals in the third for Baldwinsville.
And they have that 3-1 lead with 30 seconds left. Baldwinsville had an extra skater out there.
I said, well, the other guys have got 6. Why can't we?
Off the face-off. Puck back to the blue line. Nick Toth with it. He'll flip it. Michaud, quick short side shot. Bobbled, but Brown holds on. And now there's more pushing and shoving after the whistle. And Brown is down. And now there's going to be more penalties, I'm sure. He's right back up.
Yeah, good tough shot from a sharp angle by goaltender. Oh, we got a little. Oh, here's another penalty. I hate to see this. Brown is just, he's just inciting the Massena players right now. He's pointing to the scoreboard saying 3-1, look up, guys. And Raiders.
Interesting.
I think there's going to be a penalty. I'm sure Ryan Ramo, yeah, he's in the box. I don't know.
And Beeville picks up one as well.
That's number 25. That's going to be Kakavale. It's John Kakavale that's getting the penalty. He certainly plays bigger than his stature. He's only 5'4", but he's tough.
Brown is halfway to the bench. I don't know what he's calling for.
And his coach, Mark Loy's telling him, go on back, get back in the net, stop the yapping. Let's just end this with some class, and both coaches are telling their youngsters, hey, it's been a mild game up to this point.
Yeah,
not a lot of hitting. Beeville isn't a hitting club, but Massena is, and they played it straight up tonight. And just in this last couple of minutes here, it got a little, of course, frustrations brimming over. Massena, I think, frustrated that they can't beat Brown. He's come up with a couple of big saves here in the dying minutes, and they rolled a couple wide.
Okay, we'll face it off with 24 seconds left. Michaud will take the draw. Off the face-off, it comes to Whitcup. Can't get the shot off. Turns it around, poked away. And down the ice, here comes the chance for Elias. The open net goal, he fired it wide.
Oh, that was, I don't know who did that, but that's really, oh boy. Raiders are going to get a penalty. They threw their stick out. I think Dusty DeLille threw a stick out on the ice. That is really...
Can't they award him a goal for that?
Well, they could, and I really hate to see that. I really... would have been an empty net goal for Baldwinsville, and somebody from the Raider bench, and I think, maybe I better not, it was a goalie stick anyway, that came out on the ice, and I don't know if it deterred the Baldwinsville player. Probably will be a goal.
I
the
think
puck is back at center ice.
Or else a penalty shot.
Yeah.
That's not good, Coach.
No, and Coach Latham and his staff realize that right now. They're just kind of, got the troops together, and they're just telling them, hey, we played with class all year long. We're going to continue to play with class. This is not what we're about and what we're going to be about. And the official is informing Coach Latham right now it's either a penalty shot or a goal. I got a feeling it's a penalty shot.
Yeah.
The puck's at center ice, and it looks like Hawthorne's out there trying to get his hat trick. He looks like he's anxious. Oh, they're going to put.
You're going to put Collins in.
Oh, that's a tough position for him, but I know why he's going in there because of Coach Latham was not pleased with young Mr. Collins out there. Chris Collins, only start of the year, shut out Alex Bay. And how tough can this be, coming out to face a penalty shot in the dying minutes? And,
fortunately, the game's already out of hand.
That's right.
Okay, here he comes, Hawthorne. Collins comes out. And Collins makes the stop. How about that?
Beautiful. Chris Collins came out just like it planted way out top to start off, backed in, and Hawthorne gave him the head fake that he was going to shoot, then try to go to his forehand, and Chris Collins, big save.
How about that?
Nice job. And that wasn't a lucky save. That was a good save. He was backing in, made the shooter make the first move, read what he was going to do, went to his left, and shut that short side off.
So now with 13 seconds left, we just got to get this one over with, Coach. 3-1, Baldwinsville leads.
And I'm sure there will be no extracurricular activities here after the coaching staff had talked to them, and both coaches have.
Face off in the Massena zone. Off the draw, comes out by the blue line. They just dump it in the corner. In behind the net, Toth picks it up, flips it around the boards. That's going to take care of it right about there.